Good morning, my dear students. So today we are going to learn regarding the general considerations in the machine design. Okay. So the types of the first one we are going to learn regarding the types of load and stresses caused by the load. The load on machine component may be act in a several way due to which internal stress are set up. The load may be the point load, or it may be uniform distributions load or uniformly varying loads. And stresses may be tensile stresses or compressive stress or shear stress. In the tensile stress, what will happen when two equal opposite force, let us consider a body, when two equal opposite force is applied on a body, due to the body length will be increases and the diameter of the body will decreases in the tensile stress. What about the compressive stress? In the compressive stress, in which when two equal opposite force is applied on the bar, due to the length of the bar will be decreases but the diameter of this bar will be increases, we can say as a compressive stress. What about the shear stress? The shear stress in which the forces is applied on tangentially, due to the body length will changes from A to A dash, B to B dash, they making the same angle, what we can say distortion angle of phi. So this means that on any machine component may be act in a several way due to which the internal stresses are set up into the body. So if you apply the load, let us think about it. The body internal resistance capacity of the bodies, they can sustain the load of 50 kilonewton. If you apply the load of 10 kilonewton from the both the side, the body will elongate it? No. If you gradually increase 20 newton, again if you apply the 20 kilonewton force on this body, the internal resistive force should be more than external force applied, due to body will not be elongate. If you gradually increase, instead of 20, if you apply the 40, so this means that the external force should be lesser than internal resistive force applied on a body. If you gradually increase up to 50 kilonewton, then what happen? The external force should be equal to the internal resistive force. If you gradually increase up to 60 kilonewton, then what happen? The body start the elongation. The body start elongation, it will change in length. So if you apply the tensile force, what will happen? The body length will increase, the diameter of the body will increases. So this means that if you apply which type of the load will be applied, maybe point load or UDL load or a UVL load, or it may be stresses, maybe tensile stress, compressive stress or shear stress. If you apply on a body, the in the machine component may be act in the several way due to which the internal stress are set up. If you increase the load beyond the limit, then only body will failure, otherwise body will not be failure. So we study under the types of load and stresses caused by the load. The first step is completed. And second one, we are going to learn about motion of the part or kinematics of machines. Let us see. If you want to perform the successful operation of any machine component, it is completely depending upon the simplest arrangement. It is completely depending upon simplest arrangement of the part, okay, which will give the motion required. Let us see. I will give the same example of the cylinder. Okay, here piston. This is the TDC and this one here, this is the BDC. Okay, its moves in a circular path. Let us see. Let us we apply the motion may be rectilinear motions. The rectilinear motion which include the unidirectional and reciprocating motion. If we apply the some amount of force on this on the piston will move from TDC to BDC. So how it is moving? It is moving in a reciprocating motion. How is it moving here? It is moving inside the cylinder is reciprocating motion it will produce. Is it right? They are moving in a reciprocating manner. It move from TDC to BDC. Okay. Again the second one. Curvilinear motion which include rotary motion, oscillation motion and simple harmonic motion. If you make the component in such a way that I will give the example of fan. Okay, that is a fan. The fan, how it is moving here? It move in a rotary manner, or we can say as in a circular manner. Okay, so this fan is rotated with the angular velocity of how much will be there? 100 RPM. The speed of rotation of this fan is how much is there? 100 RPM, or we can say as N. How much? 100 RPM. So the motion of the part or kinematics of machine, so we have to arrange in such a way that the parts will give the motion. Is it right? So how is the motion? Our body or our fan is rotate in the which direction here? It's a move in a circular direction, or it move in a rotary directions. So rotary direction, that is the example of curvilinear motion. What about the constant velocity? The constant velocity nothing but, let us imagine if we apply the load. Velocity we know very well. Velocity nothing but the rate of change of distance with respect to time. We can say as velocity. Displacement with respect to time we can say as velocity. Velocity is the vector quantity. It represents the magnitude as well as direction. So this means that let us see the piston is moving with the some velocity. Velocity how much is there? Velocity is 20 meter per second. Okay, the velocity of the piston is moving from TDC to BDC. How is it moving? It is moving in a constant velocity. It will not be vary. Is it right? If it is vary, we can say as a constant velocity. When we can say constant velocity, if the piston it move the same velocity, it move from TDC to BDC, how much velocity it has to maintain? They has to maintain of 20 meter per second. If it is reach to the BDC, the velocity should be 20 meters per second. If it is reached to the top dead center, the velocity should be 20 meter per second. So this means that constant velocity of the piston is reciprocating inside the cylinder of the engine. That is the example of constant velocity. And constant or variable acceleration. Sometimes the acceleration is maybe variable, maybe vary, or maybe it be constant. So it will be move with the same velocity of same 20 meter per second square. They moving with the velocity of the piston inside the cylinder. That is the example of motion of the part, kinematics of machine. So again I will repeat. So any machine component is totally depending upon the simplest arrangement of the part which will give the desired motion. First one is rectilinear motion. I give the example of cylinder and piston. Second is curvilinear motion. I given the example of fan. Third one is constant velocity. Any object they move with the same velocity. Is it right? The distance they has to cover, the same distance they has to cover. So what we can say? Constant velocity. What about the constant acceleration? Nothing but it's a rate of velocity with respect to time. So this means that in the constant accelerations also they has to maintain the same acceleration. It should not be vary. So it is a part of motion of the part or kinematics of machine, how it is working condition. And third one, we are going to learn about selection of the material. Okay dear, because selection of the material, it's play very important role for the design engineer. Because if you select the material, the design engineer should have the thorough knowledge of the material as well as properties of material and behavior under the working condition they has to know. And second thing is we have to know about it, the such type of the material is available in the market or not, available in the market or not. And third thing is the most important is, so the selection of material based on the cost of the product, the less cost of the product. And fourth point is the some important characteristics of the materials will be the material they have the strength or not. Based on that we have to purchase the product. Material they have the durability or not, the materials is having the flexibility or not, what will be the weight of the material we have to select for the making any machine component. So another one is the most important is resistant to heat and corrosion. So our intention of the design engineer is protect from the corrosions. Okay. And another one is ability to cast. Is it right? Another one is welded or hardened, or we can easily machinability, as well as they having the electrical conductivity of the material or not. Based on that we have to select the material. Is it right? The first thing is we have to select the material based on available in the market or not. So we have to purchase the product, the less cost of the product. We have to purchase the strength they having or not, they having their durability or not, they having the flexibility of the material or not. So we have to select the less weight of the material. Okay, as well as we have to protect from the corrosions. Is it right? The resistance to heat and corrosion, they have the capacity or not, whatever they available in the market. So we can ability to cast or not, or we ability to weld or not. So this is a part is come under the selection of the material. Okay dear. Again we are going to discuss about form and size of the material. Okay dear. The form and size are based on the judgment. Based on the judgment. Let us see. You have one pen. Okay. This is your pen. Actually, you are make the model in such a way that this is your cap. Okay. If it is not having the gap in between, we have to make in such a way that the diameter of this pen is how much is there? Let us assume diameter is 30 mm. So how much diameter we have to maintain to make the cap? We have to maintain as 30.5 mm toward right side, okay, toward left side. For that reason it is easily adjustable, easily judgment, it can easily insert into the cap. The pen can easily insert into the cap, otherwise it is highly impossible to insert in the cap. Otherwise what will happen? Because loose will be happen. If you are maintain 31 toward upward, 31 toward behind, so what happen? This pen can easily move and they can away from this cap. Is it right? So this form and size is basically, it's mainly depending upon judgment. Okay, we can have to make the product. Okay dear. And another one, the most important is the smallest practice cross sections may be used, but it may be checked that stresses induced in the design cross sections are reasonably safe or not. Whatever we applying the some amount of force, which type of the force we applying? We applying the compressive force. We applying with the help of cap. If you are inserting, which type of the force you are applying? Compressive force applying on that one. Is it right? So which type of the stresses is induced in the cross section, we have to know. Is it right here? Again, the most important is, if you want to design any machine component, we have to form and size. Form and size. It is necessary to know the force the part must sustain or not. Okay, so let us assume if you want to design any machine part, form and size, it is necessary to know the force which the part must sustain. They have the capacity to sustain or not, or they can't tolerate that much also. We have to know. So if you want to apply some amount of suddenly force you applied on the pen, it will be fracture or not. Which type of the load? We can apply the compressive force, we can apply the tensile force, we can apply the impact load. So it causes the failure of the material or not, we have to know. Is it right? If you don't know, so if you apply the if you're not aware about which type of the load is acting to inserting the cap, so maybe the chances of failure of the pen also. Is it right? Then we have to know about it, which type of the load is acting on the cap. Maybe impact load is acting, or it may be compressive force is acting, or it may be tensile force is acting on the cap. We have to know. Is it right? Another one is the most important is frictional resistance and lubrication. So the frictional resistance and lubrication, it's play very important roles for the making any machine component. So there is always loss of power due to the frictional resistance. It should be noted that the friction of starting higher than running friction. Friction of starting, it is higher than running friction. Let us see. A body is placed on the horizontal surface. What I am doing here, another body we are placing upon them. We are applying some amount of external force on the moving body or upward body. Okay, or upward body. Then what happen? It will produce the friction on the contact surface. So here it will produce as limiting force of friction. Here is acting as applied load. Which load we applied here? Compressive load we applied here. Here which force is acting here? The body is acting on the horizontal surface. This means that the normal reaction is acting. The limiting force of friction, which direction they acting? They acting in the opposite direction. F is equal to coefficient of friction into the normal reaction. So in between we are using the lubricant or not. If you are using the lubricant, the less friction it will produce. Less friction it will produce. If you are not using the lubricant, in between the two workpiece, it will produce the high friction. What will produce here? It will produce the high friction. So friction resistance and lubrication is state that there is a loss of power. Why the loss of power? Because of frictional resistance. It should be noted that the friction of starting is higher than running friction. Is it right? Initially we have to apply the maximum force to move the body from one place to the another place. Is it right? So that's what the friction is the more when you are starting. In the running frictions, the frictions will be very less. In between, if you are placing the lubricant, the frictions also very less. If you are not using the lubricant, in between the two workpiece, the frictions will be more. Okay. So that is the beautiful example for the frictional resistance is for the sliding friction, rolling friction, as well as rolling friction and sliding friction, as well as solid friction. Okay dear. Again the next one we are going to learn regarding the use of standard part. The use of standard part is closely related to the cost. Okay, the cost of the selection of the material will be more, then I will not go for the standard part. Then I will use for whatever the stock part will be there, we can use. Is it right? So the use of always you have to mentality of the design engineer is always they has to use the standard part for making any type of the product. Okay, the standard or stock part should be used whenever possible. Okay, the for which the pattern are already existent, such as gear, pulley, bearing and such part will be selected from the regular stock, such as screw, nuts, pin, bolts. This is the standard parts is available in the market. We can utilize whenever we want. Is it right? So it is a part, so in which the design engineer has to know about which type of the product we have to use for the making the any type of the prototype model. Okay dear. Another one we have to know about the design engineer is safety of operation. Some machines are very dangerous to operate, especially those speed is more high. So if the speed is more than 1000 rpm, it will very dangerous to operate. Is it right? So those machine can produce the maximum rate of production. So if speed is will be more, what will do here, he will produce the maximum rate of production. Okay, so for that reasons we are selecting the such type of the machine. Okay, again the designer should have always provide the safety device for the safety of operator. Okay, because if you not provide the safety of operator, if something is happen, then it causes what will happen, it will be affected to the operator. The safety appliance the must and should we need to provide to the operator whenever they operate to the machine. Is it right? Another one we are going to learn regarding the workshop facility, because the design engineer should be familiar order to avoid the necessity of having work done in some other workshop with the limitation of this employee workshop. Sometimes necessary to plan and supervise the workshop operation and draft method for casting, handling and machining especially part. So we have to let me know, so whatever the part they making in the industry, as per as the requirement or not, they has to check it. Okay, that is the responsibility of the design engineer. Again, the most important part is assembling. So whatever part we are manufacture, whatever part we are make the prototype model, then after that making of everything we have to assemble of each component. Every machine or structure must be assembled as unit before it can function. Is it right? The large unit must be assembled in the workshop only. So that is a part of the machine design. Okay dear. So if you have the doubt regarding the general consideration in the machine design, please comment in the box dear. Thanking you.